What is a human being? Are we simply creatures of flesh and blood? Can we be explained by the principles and processes of chemistry, biology, and physics? Or is there something more to man? It is important that we obtain an answer to this question because we cannot understand the nature of the problem of sin nor how God deals with this problem unless we have a proper understanding of the nature of man. According to the Bible, man is made up of something called spirit as well as the fleshly body. However, there is also an additional aspect which is referred to as the soul. In 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 23 we read, "And the very God of peace sanctify you wholly. And I pray God your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ." It is not difficult to understand what the body is because we can see, touch, and examine it. It is that part of us which is made up of flesh, blood, bones, and tissue. The spirit is more difficult to understand. We cannot see or touch the spirit. We cannot discern it with our physical senses. It is that intangible, invisible part of us which is not physical. It is not related to our genetics and is not limited to our bodily functions. The Bible teaches that when the spirit and the body operate together, then a person is alive, but the body without the spirit is dead. In the Bible, the spirit represents a person's life force and is sometimes referred to as the person's breath. Of course, this is simply a basic understanding, and it is clear that the spirit involves more than just the life force. In Genesis chapter 2, we read that God formed man's body from the earth. Then he blew the breath or the spirit of life into his nostrils, and then man became a living soul. When there is a combination of body and spirit, a personality and character develops, and this is what is referred to as the soul. A person's brain is a part of the physical body, but it has the ability to receive information, to process that information, and to develop a character and a personality. This soul is the conscious, thinking, reasoning, feeling, emotional aspect of a human being. If we compare a human being to a computer, we can see that a computer is also made up of three parts: the hardware, the software, and the operating system. In this illustration, the hardware of the computer would represent a person's body, with the processor being the brain, the operating system being the spirit, and the software representing the soul. When the operating system and the hardware come together, then the computer takes on a character and a personality which is able to express itself through the software and its functions. It is the same thing with a person. When the spirit and the body come together, then the person takes on a character and personality which is able to express itself through the soul. So in summary, the body itself is simply a functioning machine. Without a spirit, it would hardly be any different than a plant growing in the ground. It would respond to physical stimulus, but there would be no self-awareness, no intelligence, no reasoning. But we all have a spirit, and this makes the difference. Because of this, we become living souls, having distinct personalities and unique characters. One final point. The spirit is the most significant element of all. Although we are mostly ignorant of the spirit and how it functions, yet it is the decisive element in the nature of man. It is the element that determines whether a person is evil or good, whether a person is lost or is saved, whether a person belongs to God or to the devil. In the resurrection, we shall all be given new bodies, but not new spirits. The spirit is the only thing that will survive from one body to the next, from the corruptible to the incorruptible. Therefore, our greatest consideration should be the question of what kind of spirit do we possess, and how can we obtain the kind of spirit which is in harmony with the will of God. This is something we will address in a soon coming video.